Welcome back to Winners Win Football Podcast. This podcast, we're going to talk about something sad. It's more political
than football.
But
it's football, a bit.
But it's important to talk about. Gary Lineker, a footballing legend, a legendary broadcaster for the past 3 decades on BBC for the Match of the Day program, was recently fired from the BBC after having made comments about the state of Israel and defending Palestine. He happened to retweet a video that criticized Zionism accurately, and there was a rat on the video, mistakenly, and so he was fired after 30 years of work for doing the right thing, standing up against genocide, standing up against children getting killed, standing up against the state of Israel, but the hypocrisy of the BBC, claiming impartiality when after Russia invaded Ukraine, there was no impartiality there.
Roman Abramovich was chased out of the country.
What's going on with the Israeli investors? And then in the same week, Arsenal's kitman criticized Israel on Twitter. And he's been working there in Arsenal for 2 decades now.
A bit more than 2 decades.
And he got fired as well. And in the same week, Israel, a country currently committing genocide, gets to perform in Eurovision Song Contest. Eurovision Song Contest. While Russia, after invading Ukraine, they were kicked out of the competition.
Out of all sort of competitions.
Yeah. So the hypocrisy of Western media and the hypocrisy of the BBC. Just be aware, the media that you are watching, there is no free media. There is no freedom of speech. There is no human rights when it comes to the topic of State of Israel.
And for me, it's not that if you take Israel out of it, if you just think about what we're saying, if I say to you, do you think genocide is okay? I think every person on the planet would say no.
Exactly.
Period. It doesn't matter who it is. And if I told you, okay, I like this, and you say, I don't like it, then we can have a discussion. It's not that one side is the absolute truth and you just have to follow it blindly. If we can't have a discussion, the society is over. Let's say, if we take it back 300 years ago, if someone said, yeah, I think slavery is okay, and someone else said no, and you end the conversation there, we wouldn't be where we are today. You need to be able to discuss and have a conversation about topics in order to be able to evolve, regardless of what you think of it. If someone says to you, this is how it is, and everyone has to think in exactly the same way, we're over. Because then we will stagnate, we will stop evolving, and we will become this mindless society where we never question something, you never evolve your way of thinking, and you just continue to allow people to dominate you and allow to do horrible actions, such as genocide, killing young people, and whatever else is going on.
But I also think that's the goal. Because here is the weird thing. Why is it so taboo to talk about a foreign government?
Yeah.
I can talk shit about any government in the world. I can talk shit about Russia. I can talk shit about Iraq. I can talk shit about the only government you're not allowed to speak about in Western media is the state of Israel, who is currently committing the worst crimes in the world.
Yes.
Crimes that we haven't seen. It makes you feel helpless. Like I can shout and speak, and it just makes you feel helpless. Watching all these kids' parts getting torn apart, and you just like.
And I saw a document that they released recently, which stated name and age of people that had been killed, which 1,000 pages long document. In the first 18 pages were name, age, 0. These are kids. They have nothing being able to defend themselves or doing anything that potentially could harm you. Regardless of what you say, there's no there's no logical explanations for you killing kids this age or anyone in that manner.
And how is it justifiable? We still don't know. Because in the influence that this country, the influence that the Israeli lobby has on Western media, Western government, Western entertainment,
The entire world. And
it's like it's right in front of our eyes.
and no one.
And a journalist called Mehdi Hassan,
Yeah.
after he just made an interview hard. He asked tough questions for one of the Israeli ambassadors. He got fired
Yes.
from MSNBC. It's actually crazy, dude.
Like you said, the free speech, the free thinking, it's in jeopardy. We don't have it anymore.
There is no. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
It's a scam. Because if you are not able to criticize something, then that's a form of dictatorship.
What did Voltaire say? I disagree with what you're saying.
But I respect your opinion.
No, but I will fight
For you, yeah.
for your right to say it.
And that's the ideal state. That's the ideal state of how it should be.
No,
You should be able to discuss. You should be able to have different.
the current Western free speech is free speech that we like.
Yeah, exactly. That
Free
we
speech
approve.
that is allowed,
And we approve. We approve it.
that we approve. It's
And
bullshit.
it's dangerous because if you're not allowed to speak without getting fired or criticized to the extent that you lose your way of living, how are we going to progress as a society? We're just gonna stagnate. We're gonna choose this is what is right, and you cannot question it in any sense.
Gary Lineker was fired after these comments.
Yeah.
But the BBC allowed Jimmy Savile, a known pedophile and a rapist,
Yeah.
to stay on the channel.
And that's it. And by doing that, you say, this is all right, this is not all right. And you only compare the two. You see where they're, what they truly think about.
So just come out and say, hey, you know what? We think genocide is okay.
Yeah.
If you come out and say that, fine, we know where you stand at least. Cunts. I mean, yeah, just to say, finally, like, the Israeli lobby influence in the West is just,
It's scary.
it is so scary. All
For
right,
sure.
on to football.
After football.
I wanted to get this out of my chest because it's been pissing me off. What can you say after this?
Yes, ending off.
Nah, but what has happened this week?
What has happened this week? We can start with Serie A, maybe.
Crazy weekend in the Serie A.
Unbelievable weekend. Now, we're going into the last game of the week now because to find out who's going to win the title between Napoli and Inter. And I mean, it looked like neither of them wanted to win it.
Yeah,
Initially.
they bottled it, both of
They
them.
both bottled it.
I never thought I would say this about Conte, but he almost bottled the league.
Bottled the league. It's still in his hand. And the games Inter has, they had Lazio, and now they have Como away. Both are two tough games.
Yeah.
So when you looked at it ahead, more difficult for Inter. Napoli had more favorable games.
Yeah.
You would expect them to win. And now when you look at the last two games, either of them could have gone on top. Napoli just lucky that Inter didn't manage to win their game.
I
And
mean-
somehow we have Chabi, he's a retired coach. So
Yeah.
Iniesta, I don't know, he's rotting. Busquets is barely running in MLS.
Yeah,
Somehow Pedro is still playing football. I don't know how Pedro
scoring two goals.
scoring 2 goals against Inter. Maybe
Yeah.
Barca would have needed him in the Champions League.
Probably.
I mean, how is this guy even playing and playing at this level?
You would have done a better job than Rafinha.
Relax. Maybe
You know, that's what Rafinha is to me.
Pedro.
Pedro.
But you need Pedros.
That's like, for me, comparing Lamine and Rafinha, it's the same role. Lamine has the Messi role. Rafinha has the Pedri role. Run and score. Run behind and score.
He's still a good player, Rafinha.
He's good. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not Ballon d'Or.
I mean, he's had.
If
He had Ballon d'Or
Rafinha receives the Ballon d'Or,
Yeah.
I'll stop watching football.
Please. What's going on?
So fucking damn it.
So we can get rid of this guy. Serie A.
So basically, Inter,
They were leading.
they were leading. Then they conceded. Then they were leading again.
Then they conceded.
They conceded. And then in the last minute,
They scored the goal.
Arnautovic missed
Oh.
an open goal. And while this was happening, by the way, Napoli get a penalty.
Yeah.
And it gets disallowed. And both managers get red cards.
He got sent off. You know, the other manager against Inter, he also got sent off. So they both were chilling outside of the stadium together, like, yeah.
I feel like Serie A is on its way back.
Nah.
We've been saying this for 10 years now. But I feel like, yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately,
I wish
it was.
there were rumors that Klopp would join Roma. If Klopp joined Roma, brother, Serie A is back.
Nah, not enough. There's not enough money in that league, unfortunately.
With good manager, it doesn't matter if you have enough money. Remember the time before all these great coaches joined the Premier League, like back in 2015, 14.
Yeah.
Premier League had the most money, but it wasn't the best league.
It was still the biggest league in the world.
But it had the most money, but it wasn't the best. At the time, La Liga was the best.
Please, that was because prime Madrid and Barcelona.
No, trust me, the Premier League became the best league after the great managers joined it. After
Pep.
Klopp, Pep, Conte. So I think managers make leagues great.
Yeah, of course, because they put the imprint
Yeah.
on the league.
So I think if Klopp would have joined Roma, unfortunately his agent has denied the rumors, but that would have been so beautiful. It would have been the most beautiful thing in football. Klopp with those Roma fans, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would
It would have been like a marriage in fantasy.
Talking about managers, we need to talk about the FA Cup. This guy, Glasner, with the craziest quote I've seen from a manager in a long time. I'll read it. He said, after the press conference, I told Pep, if we ever meet again after Crystal Palace lost against them, you have to change your system because we will find you out. To say that to probably the greatest manager of all time is a crazy statement.
Yeah.
And not only saying it, you back it up on the pitch. I'm not saying that Crystal Palace were dominating Manchester City, but he knew how they were going to break them down, how they were supposed to play that game.
Yeah.
And you could see it throughout the game. They played exactly the same way every time. They bait the press, wait for them to come in, play it long to Mateta. Mateta had a crazy good game as well. He's such a good striker.
Did he assist the goal to Eze?
No, he didn't. He brings the ball down, plays it to a player running towards him. Munoz, the right back, he's storms forward. They move as they know exactly how to move. So when he gets the ball, everyone moves in the same fashion. Munoz gets the ball, crosses in, Eze taps at it, and you see the pattern. They were playing the same way.
And also, the story of Eze is kind of crazy.
The story of Eze, yeah.
He's been rejected by so many clubs, let go of so many clubs.
So many academies.
And now he's won the first big title for Crystal Palace.
The first official title in Crystal Palace history, being the main man. People now saying he's probably the biggest Crystal Palace player ever, beating Saha. And I mean, delivering for them when it truly matters. You can't really say anything against it.
And this manager?
This manager is interesting. Tactically, he's a good manager. I've seen it every time we played against Crystal Palace. They look a good team.
Yeah.
He's won before with Frankfurt. They won the Europa League. So he knows what he's doing. And now he's actually playing. I can't believe Crystal Palace is playing Europa League this season. You know what might happen? Because Crystal Palace got Europa League spot, if Chelsea finish 6th or 7th, I think, they won't get Europa League. They will get Conference.
Not again.
because Crystal Palace took the Europa. So Chelsea could get Conference. But
this one goes out to my friend Pete. Your club has invested
$1 billion
billions.
plus over 2 years.
The only thing you can show up in the past years, top 7, top 10,
And a Conference League.
and a Conference League final. And now you're competing against Nottingham Forest barely for the Champions League. Brother, just, it's time to let it go. Retire the club.
Liquidate the club.
And that's my problem with Premier League. You know, the discussion is like, oh, is the La Liga or the Premier League better? Of course the Premier League is better.
Look at the money.
Look at the money.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
The mismanagement of money in the Premier League pisses me off so much.
What do you mean mismanagement?
United have spent 1.29 billions in the past decade. They have
Look at
what titles? Spurs are the second biggest spender.
Yeah.
What have they won? Chelsea.
2+ billions.
Okay,
No, they have
billions what?
pounds.
No, that's not. No, United are the biggest spenders, 1.29 billions.
I don't know. Under the new owner for Chelsea, they spent over $1 billion. Just on this new
Net
owner.
spent?
I don't care about net spent.
But that matters.
Nah.
But anyways, you have nothing to show for it. So for me, that's the difference between La Liga and Premier League. Like Premier League, this is if we're talking just based on money, Premier League should be winning the Champions League and Europa League and Conference League final, and both teams should be in the final every single year. That's how superior they are to other leagues.
In terms of financial, sure.
Yeah, financial.
But we don't have all the best players. Not all the best players come to the Premier League.
And that's mismanagement.
Okay, so if let's say, no, perfect example. City, they pulled out of the Wirtz deal because they said it was too much money. You can buy the players, but you don't have.
Yeah, but the amount of money you have in the league, it shouldn't be close. You should be.
But
You
nobody
should be
wants
winning.
to give Mbappe the crazy contract like Florentino Perez did
And we win the Champions League
with him.
soon. They say the same thing about Ronaldo, by the way.
Yeah.
He ended up winning 4.
I have no doubt. Mbappe will succeed.
Yeah.
No doubt. But yeah, back to the Premier to the Palace game.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, all the Premier League better than La Liga, sure, but you mismanage your money crazy. Brother, how can a team that spent 1.29 billion be 17th in the league?
That's United.
Yeah, but that's mismanagement of money.
That's why I said
Same thing with Spurs.
they will get really good. I told you.
Yeah, but same thing with Chelsea. Like, it's crazy amount of money we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
It should be illegal. It's a disgrace to football. Honestly.
Yeah.
If a La Liga team had that money, whoa, brother.
Imagine.
The fact that I think La Liga teams over the past decade
Yeah, they've been better in the Champions League.
in the Europe generally,
competition, yeah.
that shouldn't be the case. That's a disgrace.
But
That's mismanagement of money.
but I think that's good as well
It's good, but it's
Because
bad on behalf of Premier League.
because it shows football is not all about money at this moment in time, which is good. You should be happy about.
I agree. Football is not all about money.
Shouldn't be, yeah.
It shouldn't be, and I like that. But if you have that much money and you don't win,
You suck.
you suck.
Yeah. Back to the Palace game.
Yes.
Because, first of all, Malcolm's segment complaining about the referee. I know you didn't see it.
Yeah.
But this is so unbelievable to me. There is a through ball for City. Holland's going through. Henderson, Crystal Palace goalkeeper, he's running towards it, and he comes out of his box, and he's unsure. So he steps back, and he notices Holland's going to get to it, so he punches the ball away.
Huh.
Problem is, he's outside the box. So he punches away the ball from Holland. So with his hand outside the box. Straight red card. The VR looks at it. They see he punches the ball with his hands outside the box. They're like, nah, Holland is trying to go away from goal, so it's not denying a goal-scoring opportunity. Bruh, what am I hearing? This is the worst. I'm so tired of these referees, man. I don't want to complain, but they ask. And I hate City, but this honestly, when I saw it, I'm like, what? Honestly, okay.
I think referees get too much take. Give them okay. They make mistakes, but okay, you go referee.
Please let me.
It's much harder than you think. It's so hard.
Okay, but please.
Okay, so you want to make it all technological?
No. You see an image.
Yeah.
You see the goalkeeper punching the ball with his hand outside the box.
But I don't know. But wait, if you touch your hands outside the box, isn't it yellow? I thought it was yellow. You get a red card? Nah, that's not.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. You know why?
Yeah.
Because City has cheated their entire history, so it's fine. For once, they were cheated out of it.
Is it a red card if a goalkeeper punches
This is your segment.
the ball
ChatGPT questions.
outside? This is top entertainment. Outside of the penalty.
While doing something.
No, it's not automatically a red card if a goalkeeper punches the ball outside of the penalty area. The key issue is whether the goalkeeper illegally denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity or committed a serious foul play or violent conduct. Yeah, but he didn't. They judged that it wasn't an obvious goal-scoring opportunity.
And they're stupid for it.
But was it a obvious goal
My
scoring?
guy is running through towards goal.
Yeah.
If he allows to go past Henderson, it's an open goal. So of course it's denying it. So you're saying me, if I run past the keeper,
All I'm saying is referees get too much stick. Give them a break.
yeah, because you suck at being a referee. That's why.
Exactly. It's a tough job.
Yeah. But I don't know what happened with Haaland.
Yeah.
Because he gave away a penalty that game. I mean, throughout Haaland's career, when you think about him, he's like this ruthless striker, score from every touch in the box. And now he gives away a penalty. For me, that's weird. Like, you never...
He's done that once before, though.
But
When they were...
But this is a cup final to score a goal.
They were trying to win the treble at some point. When they won the treble,
Yeah.
in a league game, when they were about to win the treble,
Yeah.
they were still competing for the league. He gave away a penalty to Gundogan, and Gundogan missed it. He tends to do that sometimes.
For me, that's weird. I don't like it. But the best story from this Crystal Palace game is the story behind the Crystal Palace Tifo. Another Tifo better than Arsenal's, but anyway. There was this Tifo of a father with his two children. And the story behind this is after one of the Crystal Palace players scored against Manchester United in 2011, the cameras panned to the away end, and 3,000 supporters jumping for joy. They found an adrenaline red and blue clad supporter, Mark Whelan, I don't know how to pronounce that name,
Yeah.
screaming with passion while holding two young Palace lads, who were 6 and 9 years old, bursting into tears. Tragically, Mark, a proud South London season ticket holder, lost his life in February 2017, just 49 years old, 5 months after being diagnosed with terminal cancer. His two kids are in the crowd at the game in the FA Cup finals, continuing the support of Crystal Palace.
That's what football is about.
This is what I love. I know Crystal Palace, they have not had the best times with their leadership and their owners, but this, for me, feels like their owners, their leaders in the club, they see the fans and they do something for them. There's some form of connection with them. With Arsenal, for example, I feel there's no connection. But this is what we want in football, because the game is about the supporters, it's about the fans. They are the ones that's being entertained. They are the ones that are doing most of the carrying. So you have to align it with them.
Yeah.
If there's no connection with your fans, I mean, what's the point?
If nobody watches the games, what are the games?
Exactly.
All that money that you're sitting on, all those millions,
For what?
you won't get them without the fans.
And that's what just seeing it, you immediately start thinking like, what would Arsenal done? They would put his crap as bedsheet and everyone would be pissed. Talking about shitty Arsenal.
But haven't they, like your ownership, haven't they done like quite okay the past years? They chose to stick with Arteta from day one.
Talking about the connection with supporters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so I think some of the things they decided to do, they've done well with. But like I said, they decided to give less tickets to the Arsenal ultras. They not engaged as much with the Arsenal fans. I felt like over the past several years. And when we started competing for the league, one of the big things which I think pushed us in that way was the fans, because I remember one game, Saliba scored an own goal, and the fans, they started singing his chant, and you could see the players, they reacted to it. And now ever since we've started competing consistently, you feel like the buzz around Arsenal is different, because now there's more tourisms. Now, because we're good, we attract different people. It wasn't the hardcore fans that used to go as much. And now we just have to, I think you need a connection between the club and the supporters for it to be a good story.
I think that's what Barca does as well.
Yeah.
They have a quite good connection with their fans.
You guys, you support the club, you boo them.
Fair enough. Works every time.
Talking about Arsenal, we played against Newcastle this weekend. Finally, we
Are you in the Champions League now?
Yeah, now it's official. I think the only team that could finish ahead of us, or I don't think City can level on points with us, but I think our goal difference is so superior, it won't happen. So we're basically confirmed second.
Congratulations.
Best of the rest. But it was good because we scammed this result, honestly. We were not great. We could have been 2-3 goals down after 20 minutes. Raya, this is what I like. He was good at saving goals.
Bro, I swear, every prediction I have made against you, I've been right so far. I've been right about Arteta. I've been right about Raya. I don't know what else I've been.
But once again, the guy of the season, Declan Rice, stepped up and he scored the only goal of the game. And this is what I'm saying. This guy has been clutch so many times for us ever since he came here. And honestly,
is he top 10 in the world right now? Like players. If we thinking Ballon d'Or race.
For me, this is the Arsenal best player this season.
Better than Saka.
Saka been injured for a lot of it. Saka, before his injury, Saka were the better one. But Declan Rice took over once he was injured. Saka, the numbers he was putting up, he was competing with Salah at that time. He was competing with the best, but then he was injured and whatever. He was on track for like at least 40 goals this season. His best season ever. But Declan Rice, I think, probably one of the best in the world, for me at least. Because this guy, he will pull you through games, he will pull you through seasons, tough times, he will give you good times. There's nothing this guy can do.
He's a good player.
I love it.
Good guy.
And
Real Madrid. Oh, you want to talk about Miles Lewis Kelly? The header.
I love Miles Lewis. I just wanted to show you.
Okay.
I can't believe this guy's like 225 centimeters shorter than Dan Burst, and he won a header against him, which is crazy. I'm out of words for this kid. He's unbelievable. I love him so much. I think he's kind of creeping up. I think one of my favorite players, actually.
Right.
I love him so much. There's nothing this guy can do, honestly.
So, Real Madrid are making moves in the market. Papa Perez is back in town. First, he fires Ancelotti. Then he brings Chabi Alonso. After that, Trent. And now, Dean Huijsen.
You know the nickname Huijsen?
What is it?
Saddam Hussein. Just wait until he has a bad game. Saddam Hussein. You will never get rid of him.
No. It seems good. I like it. I like him. He ticks all the boxes. He's Spanish, tall, good with headers, good passing.
Great passing, good dribbler as well. Can capture the ball.
Now we have two that can play out of the back with Trent and Huijsen. And now it's rumored that it's Alvaro Carreras. And this guy, man, he's the new Vasquez. We will make.
Put up the picture.
We will never get rid of Vasquez.
You think you get rid of it, but he's just reincarnated in someone else.
No, I don't trust it. I don't trust this guy.
Is it? Why?
What a coincidence. Exactly when Vasquez's contract runs out, all of a sudden, an exact copy, a lookalike, joins the club. And is also a wingback. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? I don't know what the deal with this guy is. I watched some highlights, he's good. I watched some highlights, he's ace. I don't know what the deal with him is. I guess we'll see. And then it's rumored Stiller.
I like him.
He's supposed to be the new Kroos.
Yeah. I think he's a good player. Every time he looks clean on the ball.
Yeah.
Always does his actions well.
His passes are always
on point.
Line cutting.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He seems like a good player. Big nose though.
And despite the nose,
yeah,
you should never judge someone based on appearance. I think so much hate for him online because of it, and
yeah.
I think that's sad.
Especially after the hate that we have been receiving this week on online comments. I don't think he should receive it. We've been bullied. Yo, chill.
Fair, I think fairly so. We've said some outrageous things.
We do say some stupid shit. Keep him coming.
Keep him coming. We can take this.
Thick skin.
I think so.
Nah.
And they're saying a midfielder for you guys as well, or a striker as well.
Yeah, some Joselo kind of player. That's tall. You know what? He would be a good backup. A backup. That's what he is. Sure. I don't think he would even be a good backup. He's not that guy that comes in the last minute and scores a header. So basically, Havertz is good at nothing. At least Joselo fills a role.
According to you, sure.
Yeah. And the Club World Cup. Now that we have a title this season, we're going trophyless. I'm kind of looking forward to this tournament.
Let's win something.
If we win the tournament, brother,
shameless.
I will be so shameless. What do you mean? What do you mean we win trophyless?
We won the Club World Cup.
We're the champions of the world.
Champions League? That's the only European team. This is from all over
the world.
This is so much better.
Wait, you're champions of Spain? We're the world champions.
Shame.
How much did you get as a prize? Oh, we got billions.
But it's crazy because if you think about it, like Liverpool are not in it, Premier League champions. Barca ain't in it, Spanish champions. There's like the selection for these teams.
But it's based on last season.
Will this be played every season?
I think, I'm not sure. But I'm guessing it will be played in the summer that there is no European Cup or World Cup.
Okay.
It will fill in.
Fair, because if it's played it can be played every
It can be played.
Yeah, it can. Okay.
If it is.
Yeah, that makes. But if it is, then
crazy.
It's over.
It's over.
You have to play the World Cup and the Club World Cup at the same time.
Oh
no.
Yeah. But
interesting.
I'm actually looking forward to it because I want to see how Alonso, and it's quite soon. It's in.
Yeah, it's just in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I want to see how Alonso will just line up. Is he going to use the same tactic? Is he going to change?
All you want to do is see like what's the new iteration.
Yeah, because now it's just expectations. Expectations. I have nothing to base my expectations on.
You have to build something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what he's going for. Like you were talking about it before the pod.
Yeah.
Like some people are discussing different types of tactics he's gonna employ.
Yeah, I'm not sure he will play 3 at the back. I think he might play like 4 at the back, and maybe Huijsen on the left and switch into like a Guardiol role, or like
it depends, like in possession, out of possession.
Exactly. I think
in possession.
like he might use Trent he play him as a right back, but then invert it, and then play a box midfield. Huijsen comes down and plays a 3-man at the back. Oh, I'm quite interested. Like he has a lot of options, but I'm not sure he should immediately go for the 3-4-3.
Yes, yeah.
I think he should adapt.
Yeah, depending on the players you already have, you need to adapt with that. Yeah, for sure. That's why I think it's going to be interesting to see what you guys can. What can.
But I like the types that he's bringing in, and I like the fact that he has a lot of influence and a say in the players that we get in.
Okay.
Because Ancelotti, the rumors are that because these are not type of players that Perez would buy. Huijsen is not a type of player that Perez would buy. Trent maybe.
Yeah, Trent.
Stiller, no. Like these are Carreras, no. Like these are Alonso player.
Ronaldinho, yeah, he's too ugly. We cannot.
Yeah. Look how well that turned out.
Exactly.
So I think he has a lot of say. Mourinho also had a lot of say in the players that he wanted to bring. So I think he has the same strategy.
Yeah, he built a good team.
Yeah. And then, speaking of Mourinho, I was watching the Evra SDS podcast, and this guy cracks me up.
Yeah.
Like he's one of my favorite characters in football. Both Evra and Mourinho.
I'm like, Evra I don't care for too much. He's funny, but Mourinho, he is the best.
I miss him so much.
I love.
Did you see?
I love Mourinho.
Did you see how Galatasaray they made
Made fun of me.
South Park sketch of Mourinho? Oh my god! And Evra was telling the story about Benzema. Benzema told Evra back in, this was 2011, 2012, when Mourinho was the coach, that Mourinho changed Benzema's career.
Yes.
Simply based on the fact that Mourinho went out to the media and said, I am playing with a bunch of cats. I want to play with a bunch of men up top. And then every time Benzema wouldn't press, he would allow Higuain to just warm up to scare Benzema into pressing.
I mean,
He's mental. He's mental.
I mean, we could do an entire episode just talking Mourinho stories. These guys. And despite he hates Arsenal, he hates Wenger.
Oh, he still hates Wenger.
With passion.
And I love it.
I still can't say anything about him because this guy, he's unbelievable.
I mean, he just made a comment about Wenger said that he doesn't think that a European League winner should be in the Champions League the year after. Yeah. And then Mourinho was like, who the fuck are you to say that? Have you won the UEL? Have you won the CL? You're in no place to talk about. I love him.
I love him so much.
Yeah.
This guy is the greatest.
And then I also wanted to bring...
you have some controversial thing you want to talk about.
Neymar is not the guy that everyone seems to make him out to be. I'm sorry, I thought we came to an agreement back in 2018-19 that, hey, this guy is very talented, probably one of the best talents that the football world has ever seen. But he wasted his talent. I thought that was the agreement that we all football fans agreed upon. Bro, let's look through his career, right? His talent, he did well in Santos, but it's Santos, okay? He comes to Barcelona. The first season was very disappointing in Barcelona, okay? They didn't win anything that season.
Yeah.
The second season, when they won the treble, it was Messi, and that was probably Messi's best season ever. And then it was Suarez, and then it was Neymar. Neymar was like a Pedro in that team, honestly.
Yeah, but he's young.
Okay. Then the next season, what does he do?
I don't remember.
He won the league. That was the only period where I was like, okay, he's top 3 in the world.
Yeah.
But he was never close to being top 2.
He's Messi Ronaldo. How
and then then the next season he goes trophyless. And all this time, by the way, every time I was watching La Liga day in, day out. I was in the trenches. Every time I watched Neymar, every time he came close to goal, I was like, he's gonna miss it. That was my impression of Neymar throughout that period in Barcelona. Yeah. He was never that guy. He was never that guy. And then he goes to PSG. Wasted his career. Never won them the Champions League. Shot himself in the final. Never won anything for Brazil. Maybe the Copa America. I'm sorry. He's one of the best talents that football has ever seen. But no way that he is the guy that everyone makes him out to be. Some people are saying he's better than Ronaldinho. Are you fucking kidding me? We're not on the same level, brother. If we're talking about like Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Cristiano, Messi, Zidane, Suarez, Benzema, brother, he's not on the same. He doesn't crack the top 10 in the past 20 years. Doesn't. I just named you 10 players that are better than him.
In the past 10 years?
In the past 20 years. So since the beginning of 2000. He doesn't crack the top 10.
Yeah.
You're telling me he's better than Phenomenal? Is he better than Henry? Is he better than Ronaldinho? Is he better than Cristiano?
The thing with Neymar for me...
Is he better than Messi?
Okay, please. Neymar, I still think you underestimate him.
I'm saying he's one of the best talents we've seen.
Yeah, okay.
But career-wise, he doesn't crack it at the top 10 since beginning of 2000. The past 25 years, Neymar doesn't crack it in the top 10.
I'm not sure I agree, but it's up for people to decide.
Neymar or Mbappe's career? Winning the World Cup at 18.
Yeah, I mean, Mbappe's done great.
Mbappe. And his career is not even finished.
Okay, Jamie Vardy or Harry Kane doesn't mean that Vardy is a better player than Kane.
But Mbappe is a better player than Neymar.
Mbappe is kind of a generation. He should be one of the greatest in this generation.
Yeah, I mean, that's my argument. Neymar doesn't crack the top 10 in the past 25 years.
What do you think? Let us know.
Please don't believe.
Bully him, especially him.
Please, don't believe. I've had enough.
Stop saying stupid shit then.
No, this is a legit opinion.
And it's a legit stupid one.
No, it's a legit opinion. Tell me, is he better than Zidane?
Yes.
What the fuck? Is he better than Phenomenal?
I haven't watched any of them enough to say.
Okay, career-wise.
I don't care, but...
No, career-wise.
No. If we're compare player, I won't look at the career. I will look at them for...
Yeah, but I'm telling you, talent-wise, he's one of the best we've seen. Career-wise. Because career is... Okay, have you transformed... Has you...
a better career than...
No, he hasn't, because he wasn't starting. He wasn't deciding in those Champions Leagues.
So what? The trophies is... Well,
no, but he wasn't the one that caused winning the trophies.
How do you know?
Because he was a substitute.
But maybe he was behind closed doors. He's like, if I massage you this way, you will win.
You know what? Okay, I can say this. Vasquez made better out of his talent than Neymar made.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Vasquez maximized his talent more than Neymar did.
If Neymar used as his talent to the same capacity as Vasquez,
GOAT.
Greatest ever player.
GOAT.
Agreed.
Comment of the week.
Yeah, no. Before comment of the week, you were getting a lot of shit. I was getting a lot of shit because I said Manchester United are gonna get relegated.
Yeah.
Let me explain it for you.
Go ahead.
I said Manchester United will get relegated within the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the images in my mind. They came to me in a dream, and they said,
"You're gay."
Yes. And finally, my dreams will be answered. Nah. With Manchester United, ever since, I think, honestly, just before Fergie left, he could feel the negative transformation. He was like, okay, I need to do something to just get the last Premier League title, and then I'm out. Van Persie. After that, it's just been downhill ever since. The last 3 years, negative goal difference in every single Premier League campaign. There's been a negative goal difference. Now they are at the bottom. Amorim has 0.92 points per game, 0.2 or 0.1. Doesn't matter. He has the worst points per game ratio of any manager ever in the Premier League. Or not ever. If you compare it to the guy that got the worst amount of points in the Premier League season, it was against for Derby, they got 11 points. He has worse points per game than him. This is just Mourinho. So they have a manager. I don't think I think he's a good manager. I don't think the shit and the chaos within Manchester United, I think it's too much for him to handle. And then you look Cristiano Ronaldo when he came in. He's like, when I walked through the doors, it looked exactly the same as I left it. The infrastructure is horrible. They haven't upgraded. They are stagnating. They're stuck in a pit in the past, and they won't move forward. And when I look at the way we talked about it in this podcast, how they spend their money. I think United are the worst when it comes to spending money, because when you look at when they signed Casemiro, for example, you put down so much money into an old player. Instead, if you waited, let's say 1 or 2 years, Declan Rice was right there. You could sign him for maybe a bit more money, but a lot less wages. You get a player that you can have for 10 or plus years. Now you're stuck with one of these players. Another example, Lenny Yoro. You guys wanted him. You were like, this is our contract offer. This is what we're going to give you. United paid like almost 3 times as much as you wanted. And then they were like, oh, look, we get the best talents, whatever. Of course you get talents when you pay them more money than some of our best players get. The waste of their resources, their failure in building a proper team, and their failure in scouting, failure in infrastructure, for me, it's just so easier. So it's easy. They're just going in the wrong direction. And I think it's not that it's too late now. I think the Premier League is so competitive that the worst teams are so good that they can compete with the best teams. Every single game, you know you could lose that game. And if United play like this over a couple of years, they could get relegated. Like right now, they are on 38 points. Some teams have been relegated with more points than 38 throughout Premier League history. So for me, I'm not saying that they will get relegated. I'm just saying I think if they continue in this way, and if they get relegated, I mean, oh Lord.
I think they will win the Europa League, and next season they will compete for the Champions League spots.
The duality of man.
All right. Comment of the week?
Comment of the week.
Wait, I have to do it properly.
Okay. You want to read it or shall I read it?
No, you read it.
It's because it's about Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Comment of the week. Chabi Alonso left Real Madrid as a player when Modric was still there. Modric was 30 years old at the time. He went to Bayern Munich, played there for 3 years. He decided, it's time, let's retire.
I'm done.
I'm done with this. He said his farewell, he posted the iconic picture when he retired. He then thought, what am I gonna do now? You know what? I like football. Let me get in some coaching. He studied, worked, learned analysis, got his coaching badges.
Managed
and he went to
Real Madrid youth.
The youth teams. Got his experience. Eventually, he for 3 years he was at the youth teams. By Leverkusen called hey, we have this job. Do you want it?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure. Why not? Let's get some first team.
Yeah.
He went there. Amazing story. Great season, undefeated, everything amazing. For 3 years he was at Bayer Leverkusen. It's like, okay, I've done enough. Finally Real Madrid comes calling. We need someone to help us. Please, we need your mister. He's like, okay, let's go. Let's do it. He comes back. He opens the door to Real Madrid. Who's there? Luka Modric. He's still there.
The best thing is, he wants to extend the contract 1 more year.
It's like, yeah, sure, man. Let's come on up on the right. Why not?
You might as well.
Why not? I mean, Modric is crazy for this.
He's a football legend.
He's a football legend.
All right. It's been fun. It's been real. Ciao.